Blessings, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for joining me today for practice. If you'd like to come down and have a seat on your mat, just a comfortable seat is fine. Props that you might need are bolsters, blankets, yoga blocks, maybe a strap. And if you don't have any of those things, don't worry about it. I say this every time to start. It's perfectly okay if you don't have those things. For like a bolster, you can use any pillow you have laying around your house, any blankets. If you don't have blocks, you can use bigger books or anything that brings the floor up to you. And then if you don't have a strap, you can use like a rope or a belt or maybe even like a bathrobe tie or something. And again, not a big deal if you don't have any of those things. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Again, we'll be in a comfortable cross-legged seat. If you do have a blanket or a towel or anything like that, it doesn't have to be a yoga blanket. You can put that down on your mat and you can use that to sit up on. And that will help to raise your hips above your knees. And it might be a little bit more comfortable for you if you have any crankiness in your knees. All right. So we'll start just by landing here on our mat and taking some breaths and just seeing where we are today. So your palms can be facing up or down. Um, you can close your eyes if you'd like. And we'll take a few moments just to really focus on our breath. So as you inhale, observe the coolness of the air around you. Feel that moving down through your lungs and into your belly, and just feeling everything expand. As you exhale, notice that contraction of your belly and your lungs and your side body, and notice the warmth of the air as it leaves your nostrils or mouth. Take deep, long, slow breaths. And if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and place both hands over your heart. And quietly or just to yourself, ask your heart what it needs from you. Ask it what it needs today from you. And then as best as you can, try and still your mind and really bring the focus to your heart and try and listen to what it says it needs from you today. Maybe your heart needs more play. Maybe rest. Maybe forgiveness. Maybe healing. Might be movement. Maybe playing. Just listen and observe. Keep breathing while you do this. And when you're ready, go ahead and place your hands on your lap, or just you can remove remove them from your heart if you'd like. Or if it feels good, you can keep them there also. We'll take a few more breaths here just to, again, center ourselves. Maybe set an end intention for today's practice. We'll take one more big inhale together. And then exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes, kind of adjust back to the world around you, and then we will continue on with our practice. So let's go ahead and warm up the spine a little bit. We will come to all fours, and again, if you have cranky knees, you can use a blanket or a towel or anything that you have to pad your mat a little bit. This mat, for me, is a little bit thin on these hardwood floors, so I like to use my blanket here. Go ahead and stack your hands underneath your shoulders, knees under your hip points. And then when you're ready, on a big inhale, look forward, drop the lower ribs, lift the tail, lift the head, coming into a cow pose. Exhale, go ahead and round through the spine, drop the tail, drop the head, cat. Inhale, dropping those lower ribs, lifting the head, lifting the tail, cow. Exhale, rounding through the spine, dropping the head, tucking the tail, cat. Go ahead and do a few more just on your own inhales and exhales. And if one of the postures feels better to you and maybe you need a little extra love in certain areas, go ahead and take a few breaths and just hold that pose for as long as it feels good to you. All right, we'll take one more cat-cow together. So on an inhale, let's go ahead and lift our tail, lift our head, look forward, dropping those lower ribs, cow. Exhale, round through the spine, drop the tail, drop the head, cat. Then when you're ready, go ahead and return to a neutral spine. Hands are coming down a little bit. All right, so from here, go ahead and drop down onto your elbows. So your elbows are going to, your elbows are going to go where your hands just were, so underneath your shoulder. From here, walk your knees back and bring your chest down to your mat. So we're going to come into a puppy posture. If your forehead reaches the mat, you can go ahead and lower your forehead all the way down. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. You can use a block or something like that. So go wherever feels right in your body today. This posture is a big heart opener. You'll feel a nice stretch in your armpits. Remember to keep breathing. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, let it all go. Slowly look forward. And then we're going to shift forward onto our belly. And you can untuck your toes. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. This mat is not super long. I'm longer than the mat, so. Yeah, so again, Your arms should not have moved, so you're just coming down onto your belly and looking forward. So it's kind of like a cobra. Ooh, my foot is cramping. Keep your toe untucked. I'm going to kind of bend my foot because my foot is cramping. So yeah, look forward. We're in a nice Sphinx pose. You should feel your shoulder blades rolling down your back, so they shouldn't be coming up to your ears at all. You want them rolled back, nice tall posture through your spine. Breathe. Another nice heart opener. All right, we'll take one more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. All right, so lower down, and then this time, bring your hands underneath your shoulders again. We are going to move into a plank, so I'll give you some options. So this is option number one. So on option number one, take an inhale, and then exhale, push yourself up to all fours, and then you can tuck your toes under and come into a plank. Now, if plank doesn't feel good to you, you can drop your knees to the ground and you can come into a low plank. So that is your option number one. Option number two is, let me adjust here. I wore red for Valentine's Day, but this shirt is just not working. So option number two is go ahead and tuck your toes under. Take a nice big inhale. And then on an exhale, push all the way up just into plank. So you pick your own adventure. Go ahead and meet me here in plank or half plank. If you're in plank, make sure you are stretching back through your heels. Your spine is nice and straight, so you shouldn't be dipping down or piking up. So just nice straight spine looking forward. Make sure you're breathing. One more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. Push through your hands, shift up through your hips, and back through your legs, and coming into our first downward dog. I am going to move my blanket, and I'm going to walk forward a little bit and come into my downward dog. Now, it is okay if your heels do not touch the mat. Mine do not. Keep breathing here. You should feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings and in the backs of your legs. Take one more big inhale here together. And then exhale, sigh it all out. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and make sure your left foot is firmly planted into the mat. And on an inhale, we'll lift our right leg up. Keep your toes pointed down. Exhale, bend through that knee, shift forward, look forward, and we're going to bring that right foot in between our hands. We'll go ahead and lower down onto our left leg. And then from here, look forward. We're going to move into our low lunge. So your front knee should be at a nice 90-degree angle here. Your toes can be tucked or untucked. My foot is still cramping, so I'm going to leave mine tucked for now. My pants are rolling. So nice 90-degree angle in your right leg. Hips squared, so your left hip should be pulling forward and your right hip should be pulling back. So you kind of want this opposite push-pull happening, and you should feel a nice stretch in your your left quad there. Now keep your chest nice and lifted. Your fingertips can be on the ground or maybe on blocks. And then just make sure to keep breathing. All right, so go ahead. I forgot I told everyone to lower down onto their foot. So go ahead and tuck the toes of your left foot and then lift your knee up. Stay in that lunge. From here, make sure your left hand is firmly planted on the mat, and then go ahead and twist towards the inside of your right leg. If you'd like, you can bring your right arm up towards the ceiling and coming into a nice big twist, or you can leave your hand on your bent knee. Continue to breathe here. We'll take one more big breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Go ahead and lower on that left knee and then tuck the toes. And then from here, peel the hips back. We're gonna peel our toes up, keep looking forward, and come up onto your fingertips. So we're shifting our hips back. You should feel a nice stretch in your right hamstring. So you can look forward, you can come further down into it, whatever feels right in your body today. Keep breathing. Take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and roll back forward into that lunge. We're going to tuck the toes of our left leg and lift the knee. We'll step our right toes back to meet our left, coming back into our downward dog. From here, go ahead and breathe. If you'd like to walk your dog at all, you can. You can bend one knee and then the other, just going back and forth. And then when you've had enough of that, go ahead and bring that to stillness. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Maybe sigh it out. And then now we have to repeat what we just did on the right side on our left side. So on your next inhale, make sure your right foot is firmly planted into the mat. And then we're going to extend our left foot up, toes pointed down. And then on your exhale, go ahead and bend the knee, shift forward, look forward. We're going to step our left foot in between our hands. We're going to come into that low lunge on our left side. You can lower your knee to the ground and untuck the toes if you'd like. Make sure that your left knee is at a nice 90-degree angle and that your chest is still nice and lifted. Use any props that you need to help get you into the right sensation for your body. I won't say the right look because it'll look different for everybody. So you'll want to go by how it feels. And it can feel different every single day. So you really have to listen to your body. We'll take one more big inhale here. And then exhale. All right, our next inhale, go ahead and tuck your toes. Lift your knee up. We'll make sure our right hand is firmly planted into the mat. And then we will twist towards the inside of our left thigh. From here, if you'd like, you can lift your arm up towards the ceiling. Or you can leave it on your hip. Make sure to keep breathing. Make sure your head is not collapsing, so it should be nice in line with the spine. One more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and float the fingertips down towards the mat. Come down onto your right knee and then foot. And then we will peel our hips back, peel our left foot up off the mat, pointing the toes towards our forehead, and feel that nice stretch in our hamstring. From here, continue to breathe. One more big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and walk everything back forward. We'll tuck our right toes, lift our right knee up. We're going to step our left foot back to meet the right, coming into our downward facing dog. And from here, take a moment to breathe, washing anything that's not needed in the body out. So any stress or tension. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and look forward. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat. So you can take little baby steps, you can hop, jump, float, whatever you need to get to the top of the mat. Keep a little bit of a bend in your knees, so you don't want to lock out your knees, so a little bend here. Again, you can use blocks to bring the ground up to you as well. You want to keep your spine nice and straight. So you don't want to round all the way down. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings in this forward fold. So on an inhale, come up halfway flat back. Exhale, let it all go. And if your hands touch the mat, that is okay too. Take a moment in this forward fold just to hang your head and breathe. Again, this should be releasing any tension in your hamstrings and in your back. Bend your knees as generously as needed. So they don't have to be straight. They can be bent and you can just be hanging. Take one more big inhale here. And an exhale together just to sigh it all out. All right, from here, go ahead and generously bend your knees. Bring your torso on the tops of your knees here. And I'm gonna fix my clothes here. So your torso should be on your knees. From here, we're really sitting our butts back. And you can keep your hands here at your hips, or you can bring them to heart center, or you can extend them forward as kind of a counterbalance. Now from here, you can start to sit up. So we're coming into our chair pose. So imagine you're using a porta potty at a sporting event and you don't want to have to actually sit on it. So you're going to hover. So it's good practice for that, or concerts or anything like that where you don't want to have to sit on a nasty toilet. It's also really good for your hamstrings. Keep breathing while you're here. One more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and straighten through the legs, rise up, come to standing. Lower your hands down to the side. So we're going to come into a mountain pose. Make any adjustments you need to. I'm going to catch my breath here for a moment. So when you're in mountain pose, or as you're coming to mountain pose, go ahead and let's lift our feet up and down a few times. Really feel the mat or whatever your surface you're practicing on underneath your feet. When you've had enough of that, go ahead and bring that to stillness. Your feet do not have to be together, but just make sure they're not super wide out, so they should be in line with your hip points. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Lift up through the chest. Let your hands just lower down, thumbs planted forward. And then just breathe. Now you can close your eyes if you'd like, or you can leave them open. But really just focus on the ground underneath you. Feel that energy rising up as you inhale, and then as you exhale, feel that energy just flowing down your body and returning down through your feet into the earth. All right, if your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. And now we're going to work on increasing our focus and on a balancing pose, everyone's favorite. All right, so from here, go ahead and shift your weight into your left foot. Now, when you shift, don't dump all your weight over into your hip so that your hip is pushing out to the side. Don't do that. Keep it nice and strong and lifted through that left side. And then you can just pick your heel up and staying on the ball of your toe. And then maybe you butterfly that knee out and you just have your foot resting on your ankle. If you'd like a little more, you can slide that foot up onto your calf. And if you'd like a little more, go ahead and bring that foot to the inside of your thigh. Woo! Make sure you don't lose your balance. It helps to focus on a point that's not moving in front of you. Also, it helps to have your foot and your inner thigh, or whatever you're balancing against, whatever your foot is resting on, having those two work against each other as opposing forces. That helps to bring up that energy through the center and keeps you balanced also. Now your hands can be at your hips, or maybe you want to bring them heart center. And breathe. And once you've had enough, go ahead and lower that foot to the mat and then just shake it off. If you fell out of the pose, don't worry about it. It is okay. If you fall out, just try again, come back into it. Shake it all off. And then we'll come back to our mountain pose. All right, so now we have to try this on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and put my weight into my right side. So I started with my harder side first, so I kind of cheated there. All right, from here I can come up onto my toe, and I'm going to butterfly my leg out at the ankle. Again, if this is enough for you, stay here. If you'd like a little more, you can bring that foot to the inside of your calf. Or if you want to go in full posture, you can bring it to the inside of your right thigh. The main thing you want to not do is you do not want to bring that foot to your knee. Keep that off that knee joint. Again, hands can be at hip, or they can be at your heart. And then from here, just breathe. And again, if you fall out of the pose, laugh. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I know at the beginning this is a listen to your heart practice. I asked you to ask your heart what it needed. And mine really needs more playfulness and laughter and fun. So that's what I am trying. That is my intention with this practice, is to bring a little bit more playfulness and fun into it for myself. That way I can actually enjoy it and it doesn't feel like a chore or something else that I just have to mark off of my to-do list. Because, you know, when you're sitting there just marking off tasks and doing that day after day after day, it gets old and stale and boring, and, you know, that's not really, I don't know if anyone wants an old, stale, boring life. We have to work to bring adventure and fun into it, so, that's what I'm doing. And I fell out. So if you fell out, that's fine. If you did not, you're still up, good for you. You can go ahead and bring your feet back to the mat. If you're not already at the top of the mat, go ahead and make your way there. We're gonna come back into our mountain pose. So you can loop your shoulders up, back, and down. Keep your chest nice and lifted. Take just a couple breaths. If you fell out of that tree pose and you're beating yourself up, don't. Use this mountain pose just to release it back into the ground. Let it go. On your next inhale, go ahead and reach your hands up to the sky, feeling a nice stretch in your side body. And then on an exhale, bend through the knees, shift through the hips, and swan dive all the way down to your mat. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it all go. Take a couple breaths here again in this forward fold. Good news, I will not have anyone do another chair pose, which is nice. You're welcome. Bad news is we do have another plank pose, but that's okay. This is the last one. So make it the best one. All right, after your next exhale, make sure your hands are firmly planted into the mat. You can bend your knees if you need to make that happen. We're gonna step one foot back, and we'll step another foot back. We're gonna come into that plank pose. Again, if you need to lower your knees and come into a half plank, feel free to. Otherwise, make sure that you are pushing that energy back through your heels, keeping your spine nice and straight, head in line with your spine, and make sure you are breathing. One more big inhale here. And on your exhale, go ahead and release it all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes, lower your forehead to the mat. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. And then on your inhale, look forward, lifting up through your chest. Now, this might feel good to you in just this little baby cobra. If you'd like a little more, push through your hands, lift that heart up and forward, and really feel that nice back bend. This is also a heart opener. Now, if you have any crankiness in your lower back, lower down. Don't come up so high. And breathe. Keep breathing here. One more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. All right, from here, go ahead and push yourself to all fours, just briefly. Bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Inhale, look forward, and on your exhale, we're gonna shift our hips back towards our feet. Reach your arms forward, and then bring your chest and your head onto the mat. So we're coming into this extended child's pose. Keep breathing. Feel a nice stretch through your hips and your back. And this is really your time to rest and recover. Next inhale, look forward. And we're going to shift forward, and then you can bring your knees together and then shift over to a side, and we're going to come back into a comfortable cross-legged seat. Again, I'm going to fix my clothes here. I don't know what's going on with my pants. I'm just not having it today, apparently. All right, so you should be in a comfortable cross-legged seat. Again, you can use a blanket if you would like to lift your hips up at all. Otherwise, we're going to twist through our spine a little bit. This will be our one kind of seated exercise, and then we're going to move onto our back and do a few things before we move into our final resting pose. All right. So from here, go ahead and we're going to take our left hand, we're going to place it on our right knee, and then take your right hand, bring it around behind you. Inhale, sit up nice and tall and straight, and then on your exhale, go ahead and twist towards the right. Inhale, sit up nice and tall and straight. Exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to use this hand to push and force you over. So just only go as far as it feels comfortable for you, and make sure that your spine is nice and tall and straight. And breathe. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, let it all go. Return to center. All right. Now compare your two sides. See how they feel. Take a couple breaths here to do that. All right. When you're ready, we got to do the other side. So right hand is going to come over to your left knee. Swim your left fingertips behind you. Inhale, sit up nice and tall and straight, shoulders down. And exhale, twist towards your left. Inhale, maybe sit up a little bit taller and straighter. Exhale, return to that twist and breathe. One more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. Whew. All right. From here, let's go ahead and transition onto our back. We're going to do another twist. So come flat to your back, legs extended out in front of you. And then from here, let's bend our right knee into our chest. Take a nice big inhale. Now on your next inhale, we're going to go ahead, extend through your right arm, just flat on the floor. And we're going to take our right knee and bring and cross our midline, bringing that knee over towards the left. Make sure that your right shoulder blade is still on the mat, so only go as far as it feels comfortable to you. And then if you'd like, you can turn your head over to look at your right fingertips. And from here, just breathe. Should feel a nice stretch and twist in that low back. Take one more big inhale here. And exhale, release it, extend that right leg out. We'll take a moment here just to breathe, compare your two sides. All right, on your next inhale, we're going to bring our left knee into our chest. Take a couple breaths here. If you'd like to rotate your ankle one way and the other, and then the other, feel free to do that. Right after your next exhale, go ahead and place your palm down towards the left side, flat. We're going to take that left knee and cross that over our right side. Again, make sure that your left shoulder blade is still on the mat. And if it's not, then come out of that twist a little bit. Don't twist as deep. Then you can turn your head to look towards that left palm and make sure to keep breathing. One more big inhale here. And then on an exhale, go ahead and return back to center. Now, when you're ready, go ahead and bring your feet to the mat, bending your knees. If you'd like to have a block handy, go ahead and grab one. From here, we're going to walk our feet up towards our butt. And then you can place your hands firmly into the mat, rolling your shoulder blades underneath your heart space. Take an inhale and an exhale. And then on your next inhale, slowly start to peel your tailbone up, coming into a bridge pose. So you're going to push through your heels and just bring your butt up. Now bring your chest to your chin, and then your chin to the sky to elongate through your neck. Make sure your hands are pressing down into the mat. And this is where, if this is a little bit much for you, you can use a block or just anything that you can, that will bring the floor up to you. And you can bring that under your sacrum, so not your butt, so your sacrum. And you can come into more of a restorative bridge pose. So that is an option for you. Breathe here. One more big inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and lower the hips back down to the mat. Whew. That was a lot. All right, so from here, we're going to move into Happy Baby. So this is where, if you have a strap you'd like to use, this is a good place to use it. Otherwise, we're going to bend one knee into our chest. You can grab behind the backs of the thighs. Keep your foot pointed up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to do that to our other foot as well. Now, maybe this feels good to you right here. If you have a strap, you can bring the strap around the soles of your feet and you can use it to hold on to. Now, if you'd like a little more, maybe grab onto your pant leg or your ankle. Or if you want to go into the full posture, grab the outsides of your feet. Lengthen wherever you're at. Make sure your tailbone is lengthened down to the mat. Your feet should be flexed and pointing up towards the ceiling. And you're just getting a little sunshine on the back of your hamstrings. And other places where the sun probably doesn't shine very much, maybe. And breathe. You should feel a nice stretch. Again, if this full posture is a little too intense for you, then back off of it a little bit. Again, you can grab your ankles or maybe just the backs of your thighs. Again, listen to your body, listen to your heart, and do what feels right for you. We won't be here too long. It's a nice hip opener and a nice stretch for the back of your hamstrings. I think it feels good. I guess not everyone does. All right, let's take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, go ahead and let it all go. Return your feet to the mat. Whew. All right, we're gonna go into one more twist, but we're gonna make a little pit stop before that. So go ahead and take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. Now, if this feels good to you, stay here. If you want a little more, you can bring that knee up and you can bring your hands through towards the back of your left thigh. You can also bring your hands around your shin and bring that leg in a little bit more. Again, listen to your body and go where it feels right for you today. So we're just getting a little stretch in our right leg here, right on the side. one more big inhale here. And then on your exhale, wherever you're at, go ahead and release the foot down to the mat. Now from here, don't remove your right foot. Instead, go ahead and cross that right foot over your left. So you're going to bring your knees closer together. From here, bring your hands out to a big T, a big Texas T, and then go ahead and shift your hips over to the right, and then we're going to drop our feet over towards the left, coming into a twist. Now again, your shoulder blade should still be on the mat, and only go to where it feels comfortable to you. If you'd like a little bit more, you can bring that left hand over the top of your right thigh, just to give a little bit of added pressure, but you don't want to push down. And then make sure that you're still breathing here. Take one more big inhale here. And on your exhale, let it all go. Alright, when you're ready, let's go ahead and return everything back to center. Untwisting our legs. I was thinking I might have put my pants on backwards and that was what was going on, but I don't really understand what's going on with these pants. Alright, let's go ahead and do that figure 4 stretch on the other side. So we're going to take our left ankle and cross on our right knee. Again, if this is enough for you, stay here. Otherwise, go ahead and lift that right leg off the ground, and then you can thread your arms through and you can grab behind that right thigh. Or you can come through and grab through your right shin. Make sure your feet are nice and bright here. Feel a nice stretch on that outer left thigh. And then make sure you're breathing. If you have any tension in your shoulders, make sure that you are releasing that. Don't wear your shoulders as earrings. Just let them relax and come down. I found myself tensing in my shoulders just a moment ago, so you're probably not the only one. Alright, when you're ready, go ahead and release that right foot down to the mat, and we're going to cross that left leg over. Once again, we're going to take our arms to a big Texas T. Let's shift our hips over to the left side, and then we're going to drop our feet down towards the right, coming into this nice twist. I'm hitting the back end of fritz here. Make sure you're still breathing. One more big inhale here. And on an exhale, go ahead and untwist, coming back to center. And then bring your feet as wide as the mat, and then let your knees fall in together. Now your hands can be at your side, they can be maybe on your belly, maybe you have a hand on your belly and one on your heart. Wherever it feels good for you today. And let's take a moment here just to breathe. Big inhale here. Exhale, go ahead, smile out. And from here, separate their knees. We're going to walk our feet in together. Bring the soles of your feet together and then butterfly your knees out to the side. So we're going to come into this reclined cobbler's pose. Now, if your knees don't go all the way down to the mat, that's okay. You can always use a block or another prop, and you can place that underneath your thigh to bring the ground up to you. You can also use a bolster, blankets, or just whatever you have. I'm going to use part of Fritz. Nothing. Again, your hands can be at the side, they can be on your belly, maybe one on your heart, maybe two on your heart. Again, listen to your body, listen to your heart, and try it out, see what it needs. It says you need margaritas, and chips, and salsa, and tacos, and anything else like that. At least wait until this is over, and then maybe go try that on. I'm not having that tonight, by the way. I'm having chicken and salad. I do have that in my future, though, so I'm being very clean until that way. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale. Now, if this feels good to you, you can stay here. Otherwise, we're going to transition into Shavasana, our final resting pose, corpse pose. Fritz has been demonstrating that this entire time. He's been doing a very good job of it. So we're going to go ahead and follow suit. So you can go ahead and extend out one leg and then the other. Make sure to bring your feet as wide as the mat. Let your toes fall away from your body. Again, let your hands come out. They can be at a 45-degree angle, palms up, down, maybe pinkies touching the floor. Or you can bring your hands to your body, to your belly, to your heart, maybe one to both. Snuggle your shoulder blades if they aren't already underneath your heart space, kind of like a little bear up against a tree. And if your eyes are not already closed, go ahead and close down the eyes. Focus on your breathing. And take a moment just to let the benefits of your practice marinate in your body. Maybe revisit your intention for the practice and see if you achieved that. Whatever it was you wanted to bring or get out of your practice today. Come back to seeing if you gave your heart what it needs, or maybe it might require some work outside of this. And that's okay too. Like I said, it can be hard to listen to your body and to your heart when we live in our heads. A lot of the time, I probably live in my head 90% of the time. It's something that I'm actively working on doing, is trying to listen to my body more, listen to my heart more, trying to bring more joy and fun and laughter into my days, into my day-to-day. That way I can have a more enjoyable life. It's not just work, sleep, repeat, work, sleep, repeat. Work, sleep, clean the house, do laundry, repeat. Alright, I'm going to go quiet for a little bit. That way you can focus on your breath. But I will be back in a few minutes to bring you out of the pose. So the card I pulled for today's practice is Sandpiper's Spirit, and its message is be playful. So sandpipers are like cute little clowns, poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of Sandpiper Spirit is a sign that now is a time to engage your playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with a lightness of being. Explore the familiar, discovering the new and the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun. Sandpiper Spirit's happy and curious nature can help you to feel rejuvenated as you remember your ability to run and fly and dance playfully. Okay, so feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as time allows. If you need to go, then slowly start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, bringing some life back into them. And when you're ready, go ahead and place both feet on the floor. Keep your knees bent. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto your favorite side, coming into a nice little fetal position. We'll take just a couple breaths there. When you're ready, go ahead and push yourself up into a comfortable seat, bringing your head and neck up last. So thank you so much for spending your time and your practice with me and your energy with me. I really appreciate it. Regardless of when you're watching this, this is right before Valentine's Day, so this is kind of like the Valentine's Day practice, sort of, kind of, not really. But I mean, you can really practice at any time. Just to listen to yourself and your body. Thank you so much. This is just on my Patreon account for right now. So if you're watching this, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you know someone that you think would benefit from this, please share this channel with them. I really appreciate your support. And again, thank you so much for just playing with me today on the mat. I hope you have a wonderful and safe week. Namaste.